all that said, Tracy at his very best was able to meet Jordan 5 times. He did take on Bulls Mike early in his career in the 98 season, but we're here for Wizards Jordan. As a Wizard, Jordan was...
All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. I wanted to check this video out. The title is Michael Jordan's Rivals Wizards Edition Remastered. I thought this was a cool premise here, mainly because if you guys watch those 2 Wizards seasons, there was a whole surge of young talent that had just come into the league. We got Kobe Bryant, we got Tracy McGrady, we got Vince Carter, we got Paul Pierce, and many others. The thing that was cool about it was we got to see like Jordan at his end, all fundamentals, versus like this raw surge of talent. You know, young players in their physical primes, you know, they can out jump and out leap Jordan, but Jordan was coming at him with just like old man fundamentals, and it was great to see them battle. There's been a lot of players, just off the top of my head, Paul Pierce, who has talked about, speaking of which, Kevin Garnett's on this list, who has spoken about how cool it was to play against Jordan at that point, and that like no matter what they were doing, like Jordan would not quit. Jordan was coming at him. So it was cool to see like the torch pass to that whole next generation. And Jordan could have done it from the sidelines, but he decided to get there on the court and show them in person what it takes, you know, what it takes to be like him. And a lot of players, they didn't make it, you know, they never made it to a championship, but some of them did that he was going against. And it seems like they understood what it really takes to be a champion and be, you know, lead a championship team. Anyways, guys, this video is from a channel called Goatcast Hoops. We got 2,000 subscribers here, and the crazier thing is this video only has 87 views. Now I breezed through the first like 15 seconds of the video just to see like, is this terrible quality or this seems legit? So you know the drill. If you guys like this video, go over there, give them a view, you know, give them a subscribe if you like it. But even then, just blow up the video, get some exposure, because this is cool. I like it when people talk about the Wizards years. Anyways, guys, I'm going to link the original video down below if you guys want to do that. And yeah, my dog is off to the left of me, and she's rolling around on the carpet, growling like a lion. Cool. So if you hear some weird sounds, you know what it is. Let's go.
Today, let's talk about the greatest player on the planet and his rivals.
Okay.
Well, I will always stand by the fact that I do not feel Jordan had an individual who truly rivaled him during his 15 years in the association. I will say there were teams and even a few individuals who made things very hard on the GOAT.
Absolutely.
We will discuss just a few of those teams and players today and how those rivalries played out in his storied career. If you're around for those years, you know Jordan was an absolute beast. An assassin-like with his mentality. He made sure to kill the spirits of any player or teams that stepped in his way.
Yeah.
I even think that he reveled in those that really challenged him on the court and made him work even harder in the weight room or the actual court.
Absolutely.
This will be a series that will continue for a few parts, so today I will narrow it down to 3 more obstacles that stood in his way, and basically with rivalries he had to conquer in his career.
Yep, that's why him and Scottie Pippen were so close. Because Scottie was the first guy who was actually willing to work as hard as him.
First, if you enjoy NBA breakdowns and analysis, please subscribe to the channel. We are working for that 2,000 sub mark.
Yes, sir.
Can't do it without you guys. Also, check out the Goatcast podcast, streaming live every week, with guests and some wild takes. Thank you, and now let's get into this. So for this edition, we're going to journey back to Washington Wizards' Michael Jordan. And if you're around during those times, you know that this version of Mike was the older, not quite in his prime, number 23.
Hey, man, this is a fundamental, Mike.
And while he still
this is footwork, Mike.
Had some stellar performances on the court, there's no denying he wasn't quite the same player he was as a Chicago Bull.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, it was the climax to the greatest career of all time and still produced some of the finest showdowns in NBA history. And these are just a few that Mike had to lock horns with before he finally called it quits.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Some of these names we probably wouldn't put next to Mike's, because of when they entered and how their corresponding primes were either during Mike's very last run or when Mike was already in retirement.
Hey man, Shuttlesworth was that dude when he came into the league. All right, he wasn't just a 3-point slinger. Ray Allen had the whole package.
However, Mike and Ray Allen would actually have a pretty decent sample size when it comes to playing against each other. While Ray tested the waters in his young career against Bulls Mike, and we may revisit those matchups, it was once Jordan returned wearing the Wizards jersey that the GOAT got to really see what a challenge Jesus Shuttlesworth really was. Most of us probably remember Ray as the sharpshooter he became as he got deeper into his prime.
Mm-hmm.
But Ray was as much a threat from all over the court, from three, mid-range, and even slashing when he was younger. As we've all come to accept, Wizards Michael Jordan wasn't quite the highlight maker that Bulls Jordan was. While still very capable at the 2-guard and still a menace on the court, we saw what most of...
Now, it was a different type of highlight. It wasn't the high flyer highlight. It was that old man at the park just schooling everybody type of highlight, which I'm so happy we got to see. You know, the whole 80s was filled with Jordan flying all over the place. We got to see 3 different Jordans, and I feel so blessed for it.
Of us dreaded, and that was Father Time exposing Mike a little more than we were used to. Either way, in his final season, he dueled it out with Ray Allen in both a Bucks and Sonics jersey.
By the way, how cool is this? Could you imagine if Jordan did a LeBron here and acted like his face was on fire after this? Look at this.
Very capable at the 2-guard and still a menace on the court.
Got you.
You saw what most of us
like right now. He's like, yeah, I'm the freaking man. You know, but if he was a different dude, he would have been like, broken, my arm, my leg, my head, everything's hurt.
And that was Father Time exposing Mike a little more than we were used to. Either way, in his final season, he dueled it out with Ray Allen in both a Bucks and Sonics jersey.
Dang.
This was Ray's 7th season. The two would duke it out in 2 games that saw Jordan best Ray in both as far as scoring and splitting the 2 games, going 1-1.
Damn.
In the Bucks jersey, Mike outscored Ray 24-16.
Wow.
But fell short to the Bucks team. With Ray in a Sonics uniform, Mike again outpointed Ray, this time 26-17, and statistically outperformed a much younger guard in every statistic except assists. Not bad for a 40-year-old.
No, not at all.
The clashes over the span of 12 games saw Mike average 28.8 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.8.
Wait, could you say that again?
Games saw Mike average 28.
Say it again.
Not bad for a 40-year-old. The clashes over the span of 12 games saw Mike average 28.8 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 3.8 assists.
Nice. Okay, yeah, that covers the Bulls' years as well.
Ray, on the other hand, ended with 16.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists against the GOAT. Of course, it would have been intriguing to see more of prime Ray Allen against prime Jordan, but even past his prime, Jordan was able to basically best the gunner from UConn.
Yep. I'm looking forward to Paul Pierce. I think Paul really went at him.
Number 2.
So did Vince Carter, though. So did Tracy McGrady. Yeah, the video is almost halfway over. What the hell?
2, Paul Pierce. Another name we often don't associate with Mike's, but they had some showdowns before he parted ways into the sunset, and that is Paul Pierce. Pierce came into the league in the 1998-1999 season, right after Mike had left. That didn't stop them from going toe-to-toe when Jordan returned in Washington. These years were dipping into Pierce's prime as he was becoming a force in a Boston jersey and steadily getting that team closer and closer to their eventual chip in 2008. Like him or not, Pierce was a stud on the court.
Yeah, he was.
His ability to score was his bread and butter, but don't get it twisted. Pierce was an above-average defender during his prime years.
Yes, he was.
And at 6'7", could slow down 2 guards and small forwards.
I know, it was one of the last 2 guards I remember that was a star on offense, and he did his damn job on defense, too. It's part of why they were winners.
Having been named to the 75th NBA anniversary team tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
Mike and his Wizards would be tested by the All-Star. Having played each other 6 times in their careers, Jordan actually owns the matchup, having bested Pierce 4 out of their 6 meetings.
Dang,
However, when you look at their matchups a little closer, Pierce outscored Mike 3 of the 6 meetings as they seemed to trade buckets in bunches.
Okay, so three out of 6, so they split it.
Pierce even dropped 36 on Mike and those Wizards, although coming up short in overtime 99-98. In their storied meetings, Mike averaged 22.5 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, and 4.7 assists, while Pierce
9.5 rebounds. Damn, dude.
Matched Mike's offensive output with 22.5 points per game, also 6.2 rebounds and 5.2 assists. Both being fairly evenly matched stats-wise, this could have been an ongoing rivalry had Mike had a little left in the tank and or Pierce had entered the league a little earlier. Either way, they had some great battles on the hardwood and proved what they were two of the very best. Number 1.
Oh, hell yeah, T-Mac. All right, man. All right, cool. Yeah, I subscribed over to you. How crazy is this? I liked the video and it's only the 4th like. I want to blow this video up. This is good. This is not a video that should be getting 89 views. That's all I'm saying.
Tracy McGrady.
Yep, let's go T-Mac.
There are a few players that
I wanted Vince Carter too.
Never seem to have got to witness them fully at their peak, but Tracy McGrady will forever be one of those. Due to an unfortunate plethora of injuries, McGrady would have a truly sad fall-off that many didn't expect, but once the injury bug started hitting, it just would never let up.
Yeah, but those who remember who T-Mac was, yeah, you know. It's like if you saw Penny before injuries. Like, you guys know how great these players were heading to be. T-Mac and Kobe were like mano-a-mano at this point. The only difference was, obviously, Kobe had better teams, so he was getting more early success by winning those early championships. But I always had it in my mind, give T-Mac the right team, and he's gonna give Kobe a run for his money. Then his damn legs, man.
Either way, in his short peak of a career, McGrady managed to be a 7-time All-Star with 2 scoring titles and make multiple All-NBA teams. An exceptional
in that short period of time before he got injured, he had more scoring titles than LeBron James in 22 years. Think about that. Like, and that's not even, I'd say it's not a slight against LeBron, but it kind of is. But really, it's meant to show, like, just, like, he shot out of a rocket all of a sudden. When he went to Orlando, he just shot out of a freaking rocket, and he was blowing everybody away.
Or that could light you up from almost anywhere on the court.
Yep.
At 6'8" and able to play both shooting guard and small forward, he was a wing threat that terrorized teams throughout the mid-2000s. We'll always have it in the back of our minds if Tracy could have been mentioned in the same breath as some of the very best had he been able to carry on his full career healthy. But it's one of those questions that will never be answered.
I think so,
With all that said, Tracy at his very best was able to meet Jordan 5 times. He did take on Bulls Mike early in his career in the 98 season, but we're here for Wizards Jordan.
Okay.
As a Wizard, Jordan was 2-3 against Orlando Magic McGrady.
Yeah, this is when it matters anyways, because T-Mac was a role player until he came here. And here he's the guy in Orlando.
However, in a losing effort as Mike got the last laugh with the 106-105 victory.
Damn.
As a Wizard, Jordan would only outscore McGrady once in their 5 meetings, having put up 32 to Tracy's 31 points.
Wow.
But when you look at their average...
I believe this was scoring champ T-Mac anyway, so this does make sense.
It shows just how great Tracy McGrady was as he entered into his prime. Jordan finished their meetings averaging 20.9 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, while McGrady averaged 24.1 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5.1 assists, and led Jordan every statistic minus steals, where Mike only outpaced him 1.8 to 1.6. It's a shame that we couldn't get those two going back and forth in their primes,
right?
As I believe Tracy would have given Jordan everything he could handle, even with Mike having fresher legs. It's one of those who-knows scenarios that us NBA fans...
Yeah, but to be fair, if we're talking about the same age-wise, so if we had MJ in his mid-20s versus T-Mac in his mid-20s, I'm sorry, man. I'm one of the biggest T-Mac fans out there. Dude, y'all got to remember what Jordan was doing in the 80s. The guy was flying around like a freaking superhero. So, no, I'm sorry, man. MJ would have done it. MJ would have won that battle. But it would have been glorious to watch because T-Mac couldn't fly quite like MJ, but damn could he put up buckets. And he wasn't lazy either. He didn't just rely on a 3-ball. You know, he was killing it from the mid-range. He'd take it to the bucket all the time. His defense is actually underappreciated as well.
Opinions and thoughts on forever. So there are 3 more rivals in Jordan's historic career. This series will definitely continue, and round 4 will bring in even more challenges from teams and players. So if you want to ascend to GOAT status like number 23, please like and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you guys for helping GOATcast Hoops get closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers.
Let's go.
Hope you enjoyed and be back soon with more content.
3,000? What?
Cast Hoops get closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers.
3,000? Oh yeah. You're almost there. Yeah. Let's get you to 3K. Oh man, I thought it was a good video. It was a little on the short side. I would like more of this. I'll tell you that much. Like taking a player and then showing his greatest on court rivals. I think it's a great concept. I really do. I think it's a fun concept because it's not so black and white. You know, just talking about one player. This is the real game of hoops. So it's all about matchups, and this is what we used to live for, is seeing something like Jordan versus T-Mac, Jordan versus Drexler, or Bird versus Magic, Kobe versus T-Mac, T-Mac versus McGrady. We used to live for these matchups. Shaq versus Yao, you know, Shaq versus Robinson, Hakeem. Like, we lived for these matchups. So they are a big deal. I don't think... Did the zone defense kind of ruin this? Where the matchups aren't that exciting? Because nowadays it's like, you know, like, are we really comparing two stars in the same positions anymore when they're going head to head in a game? I don't feel like we're really doing it anymore. So that's changed. But yeah, I would love to see more videos like this, and I would like to see this channel grow. So good luck to you. I've done my part. Hopefully we send some traffic over your way, and I'm glad I found your channel, because this was a cool vid. But yeah, I would love for you to do another part, because there's definitely more players to talk about here. Obviously, Kobe Bryant being an obvious one, but throw in Vince Carter as well. And I'm sure earlier on in the video I listed some other ones. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Paul Pierce did pretty good. T-Mac did the best. That's my boy, man. That's my boy T-Mac. I'm still a fan of his, dude. Like, even you know, just him as a human being, I think he's awesome. I think he's an awesome dude. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Did you ever watch any of those battles? Let me know in the comments. We'll have a good conversation like we always do. Hats off to members. Thank you all so much. I appreciate everyone. Leave the vid a like if you could. It helps out a lot. And actually, in this case, it'll not only help me out, it'll help out Goatcast Hoops. Spread it around. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, guys. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Be good to your people. Be good to yourself. Take care of what you need to take care of. Make sure you have a little bit of fun in there. And be safe while you do it. All right, guys. Peace out. And be water, my friends.